But now we have the same problem as you all. How to collect, how to exhibit our contemporary medical science and technology in a wise manner. Why not exhibit contemporary biomedicine where it all happened and happens? Here is Uppsala BMC, a huge complex planned in the late 1950s. So it's contemporary with the contemporary biomedicine, so to say. It has been regarded as an ugly, although functional building, and to many people it's a most disturbing contrast to the medieval center of Uppsala. We should involve the students from the very beginning when we are planning what to do, what to exhibit here. And my hypothesis is that it would be fruitful to start from where we are now and then going backwards, searching through documents and archives, discovering hidden and forgotten treasures, both within BMC and within our other museums of science and of medical history, while we could listen also to those who still live, still can tell us about their view of what happened here.
The situation in Lyon is one whereby there is a project to gather existing collections in the Hotel Dieu hospital site, and the project is underway as work is being undertaken to reach out to companies and to laboratories to attract them to make donations and to work with the future curator team. On a personal note, I feel that one of the missions of this museum is to demystify the technical, maintain contact with people. We're talking about care and healing, and we're in an environment where people were healed. This is a hospital museum, and I feel that we have a fascination for the visual, but I think there is a danger that we could turn into an art gallery, and that there are other senses other than the visual that need to be explored, such as taste and touch and smell and feel. But first, we need a museum.
First, how do we use older collections, which has been addressed in other presentations? What acquisition methods allow us to keep up with developments in contemporary biomedicine? And how can curatorial work be integrated with scholarship? Our target audiences are age 16 and up, so we do not try to appeal to school children. Probably our most important audiences, intellectually, our scientists, our most important audiences. The challenge is, how do you take things that don't have much aesthetic interest, a heart valve, and try to give it interest through context and through sort of juicing it up by lighting and so forth. Just by mentioning the budgets that I've been mentioning, I just want to emphasize how much stuff is produced if you're spending $30 billion a year. How do you keep up with it? How do we track for future historians in a viewable way what's going on in these dispersed centers? We do have fellowships, postdoc fellowships, open to anyone in the world, so I'm happy to talk about that.
Thank you. When you're aiming for a science audience, how can you address the problem of getting away from this kind of, it's so easy to fall into the trap of celebratory exhibition?
The kind of the institutional webpage of the researcher in the last 15 years has kind of mutated from something that included quite a lot of personal information, because there's very little else to put there, to something kind of quite corporate, quite kind of slick, and whether as well as archiving organisational websites, you're doing anything to kind of capture blogs, other sort of personal narratives.
Terribly exciting. You've got your main object is the hotel, which needs to, in my humble opinion, be brought to life.
Why not use web technology, web camera technology, internet? So you could have, for example, you could have an artist in residence working at the medical centre in the operating theatre, and that could be part of the display in the museum. You could have a two-way conversation, yeah, and vice versa. We can use technology to be in two places at one time.
And I realized that a lot of scientists were actually quite eager to collaborate not only with artists but also to find ways of displaying and really doing research through the images that they produced.